All right, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of the best podcast in the world, aka the TTT podcast. You already know. The topic of today's video, we're going to be discussing the Travis Scott ordeal. And if you haven't heard of it, basically, there's just a cluster of what even happened. So he has a festival called AstroWorld Festival, which he and a lot of his friends, which are also rappers, perform at. And there was a tragic event in which 8 people died this year, and several more were hospitalized in what I honestly could consider as like terrorism, because bro, people were out here injecting people with lethal drugs in the crowd, and people were collapsing, passing out, and basically a lot of blame is going towards Travis and the festival, which it should. I mean, there's not really anyone else to blame, but there's some pretty outlandish theories out there, I'd say, and we're just gonna kind of talk about it and give our opinions on it. So, Andrew, why don't you start us off?
So 8 people are officially dead. 300 are injured. Over 300 are injured, including, which is really depressing, a 10-year-old died,
Yeah.
which is, really.
Okay, but why the is a 10-year-old in an AstroWorld festival?
No idea, but,
Like, bro, that's on the parents right there. Come on, guys. Like, what?
Yeah, I don't get it. But so the main cause of death is something called crowd surging. If you don't know what that is, it basically means when the crowd is so large and people push up to get in front, etc., people get pushed down, they get trampled, they suffocate because people are so close together. And, it's a whole bunch of things. Some people died from a heart attack, from the stress that was put on them. So, it's really tragic to me to see that. Let's think about this one, right? You buy tickets and you tell your parents that I am going to a music festival featuring one of my favorite artists, and you don't come back due to this. And I just think it's really depressing. The festival that the deaths happened at, which was AstroWorld's Travis Scott's concert, 50,000 people showed up, and it was sold out. And it was around 9 p.m. Central Time. So, you want my opinions on it. I think that, you should, no matter who it is, these people were borderline worshiping this dude, right? And no person in the world is worth that much chaos and to die over like that, right? I think it's completely ridiculous. Travis Scott had acknowledged people. He did make a statement during concert saying, hey, that guy is not okay, right? He did do that. Okay, I will give him credit that he at least acknowledged it. Here's what the problem was. He acknowledged it and then didn't act on it. He kept going. He didn't shut the thing down. He kept going while multiple people were getting treated by police and security, which, by the way, security, on top of this rant that I'm going on right now, the security guards weren't even real security guards, bruh. Like, now that's the company's fault for not, and that's where the lawsuits are coming in as well. We'll discuss that later. Thankfully, the festival, the other concerts didn't even get canceled, which is mind-blowing to me. But, it kept going. And you can see him dancing while people are getting worked on. It's just, in my opinion, there could have been so much more to prevent this from happening. And, even if like a person died, right, or someone's in trouble, there were chants to Travis to stop the show, and he ignored and he didn't address it. And, when people feel like they're in danger and they make a statement about it, I feel like they should be heard. And Travis Scott acknowledged it and heard them, but didn't act on it. And I think that's where the problem comes for most people who are angry at Travis Scott, is that he didn't do anything to help the situation. Because there have been so many, actual security guards, he could have stopped the show, etc. There's so many reasons that less deaths and less injuries could have been prevented.
Okay, so as we know, 8 people tragically lost their life in this event, mainly due to the crowd surf, and a lot of more passing out and a bunch of injured. Just honestly, probably traumatized from the situation because of how much a shit show it really was. I mean, my entire TikTok, Instagram feed has been nothing but the festival, and it's just been really, really bad. Like, a lot of bad energy on TikTok and Instagram. 100% Travis deserves some of this blame. He's at fault because his name is tied to the festival. He's the face of the festival. So he's going to be at fault for this, especially in the mainstream media and a lot of people that aren't like big into that industry and that concert like kind of vibe as such. But I will say it's pretty, even though it is pretty much impossible to control 50,000 people, even if you have that microphone. Yes, he probably should have said a few times to take a step back and tell people to, relax and stop the music and push the crowd back. Because again, it was a crowd surge moving forward towards him that was taking lives. His shows have always been like this. If I'm Travis in this situation, it's 6 years of just crazy, crazy, crazy shows where people pass out and people get hurt right like this. And it's a frequent thing for Travis. People get paralyzed, people get, passed out, people get hurt, people get injured. And this is common for literally every single major festival. And this is the part where I think you're messing up a little bit, Andrew, is that like it's so common for people to pass out and get injured at these concerts that like Travis saw it and he acknowledged it and he saw that they got medical attention and he thought, oh, okay, it's fine, but I'm gonna keep going. So in his head he's like, okay, this is normal. People are passing out and probably getting hurt, which is obviously bad. They're raging, in his head, but he probably didn't realize how bad it was deeper in the crowd. All the videos I've seen of people getting CPR and medical attention are deeper in the crowd, much deeper in the crowd. He cannot see that deep in the crowd. I think it's quite obvious Travis didn't know people were dying. I mean, let's be realistic now. If there's people out there that actually think Travis was like, yeah, people are dying out there, let's keep playing music, let's get lit, baby. No, that's not happening. Like, come on. His shows have always been like this. People always get hurt. Like, and in his head, he's just like, it's another show. It's another festival. Let's have fun. He didn't realize the severity of the situation, that people were getting squashed and pushed towards. I mean, me saying this, obviously, me saying, oh yeah, let's keep going, let's have fun. He probably should have stopped it. You're right. He definitely should have. But this is not like, this is normal for him. And I think to blame is mainly the organizers and communication with EMS and security and Travis himself. The crowd control, like why wasn't there enough crowd control with this? There should have been way more crowd control in Travis's end, controlling the crowd, telling them to back up a lot. Like every 2 to 3 songs, he should have been telling them to back up, because he definitely could tell that they were moving forward, and he definitely should have told them to push back and relax more, because that is his job as the performer. He has control of the crowd. But yeah, to take 3 steps back, that's what he should have been saying. There's been way more communication with EMS and security on how severe the situation was. So as soon as they found out people are getting CPR on them in the crowd, okay, cut the music. Like when Travis's team and the people running the event found out that people were getting CPR, they need to notify Travis. The communication was, it's so bad, in my opinion. The communication was the worst part about this whole festival. Why was there no communication?
Yeah.
The girl that was on the cameraman stage, Andrew, if you can find this video, there's this girl on the cameraman stage telling the cameraman that people are dying. Why did this guy not yelling at him, saying there's people dying in there? There's literally a villain. I'm watching it right now. There's a video of her yelling, someone's dead, right in this cameraman's ear.
No, I saw that video. I know exactly what you're talking about. It's ridiculous.
Dying in there. This cameraman, shoos her away. He pushes her away. Like, this is where it got bad. This is where it got really messed up. Like, I'm sure he did probably have some sort of hearing device in there, because it is a loud concert. I'm sure he did have some sort of hearing device. But he acknowledged she was there. He literally pushed her away. Like, bro, if multiple people are coming up to you and saying you're dying, you need to tell somebody.
You need to do something about it.
Like, I mean, the single guy himself can't do anything about it. He needs to let someone know. I know him well. He has a radio or some can tell to some guy who can tell to the DJ to cut the music, that can tell Travis, okay? That's where the problem starts, that people aren't communicating enough. Like, why didn't the cameraman in this, like, his headset talk to somebody? Hey, I have a girl on my stage saying, people are dying. There's somebody dying.
Maybe we should go investigate it.
Yeah.
Just maybe.
But no, he just kind of shoves her off. I mean, like, what the is that about, dude? That one is bad. That's on, the event organizers. It takes 5 to 10 minutes for security and EMS to cut the music after this. After this incident, it takes 5 whole minutes for the news to reach Travis and the DJ and people to cut music. 5 minutes. That is 5 minutes too long, bro. Literally, I could call fucking 911 and have them shut down the show. Like, bro, you can do anything in this situation and it takes you 5 minutes. That's just unacceptable.
And
It's
yeah,
50,000 people. It's hard to control, but once you get 5, 10 people passing out, now I feel like there should have been an indicator to cut the music immediately. There should have been some form of communication. The fault of whoever's job that is the organizers. The event in Travis's mind is just another show. In his mind, he's just performing. He sees people passing out. He does stop the show several times to get medical attention to them. Once they have medical attention to them, he keeps going. I genuinely do not believe in my heart he knows that people are dying. He does not know the severity. It's just a regular show for him. And I know up on stage you can't hear anything. If you have like earbuds or ear monitors in your ear that like artists wear when they're performing. There's a picture of it I'm looking at right now that Travis has them in his ear. You can see you can't hear anything and you can't see that far out in the crowd because there's so many lights on you performing. You cannot see that far out unless you asked for the lights on the crowd. Yes, he saw people passing out close. He saw that golf cart in the distance that had like medical lights on it, which in that case, I don't know if he stopped the show when that happened, but I know he did stop it several times when he noticed people were passing out to get them help, and then he kept going once they had help and once the situation had been assessed. But then like bro, there's clips of people dancing on top of like an ambulance.
hmm
Like why, guys? I get you're raging. You're at a lit Travis Scott show, AstroWorld, dude. Hell yeah. Let's get on top of the ambulance. This isn't a riot, bro. You're not like this isn't some apocalyptic movie where the world's shutting down. It's a concert and people are dying and you, you know EMS is loading people into an ambulance. So you say, yeah, bro, let's jump on top of this. It would be totally cool. Like yeah, and Travis sees a car and he kind of stops and he's like, okay, what's that car doing out there? And then I do think he keeps going after that, which he probably shouldn't have done. But again, I don't think he really knew the severity. 50,000 people is so many people. That is so many people in a relatively small space. You have to have better security. You have to have, better security. I mean, crowd control was off with Travis and the mic. He should have told people to step back 100% and took 5-minute breaks and analyzed the situation better and talked to people better. Communication should have been up there, way better. Security should have been way better. The worst case scenario, this is the worst case scenario for Travis, really it is. He's got 30 lawsuits like against him right now or some shit like that. He's being sued by everybody. Everyone, if you got a scratch, bro, you're like, let's be real, you're gonna sue him. He's a $100 million man. Like he has so much money. People are gonna sue him. I said this a moment it happened. I don't think he's gonna get jail time for this. I do think he's gonna get sued out of him, and he is. So people are also blaming Drake because he was as well performing at the time, even though his stint was a lot shorter. But yeah, that's my view on it. I think the main blame lies with the event organizers, and the communication and security that was happening. And I think that's my take on it. I think
yeah, and I 100% agree with you.
Bad, yeah.
I don't have a whole lot more else to say other than my rant before you started going on your tangent. I mean I agree with everything Carter says. It's just I think that the blame can go towards everybody. There's everyone
100%
for something. There's not a singular item or person who gets the blame put on them 100%. The blame, everything. There's so much more that could have been done to prevent this. The company that held the festival is getting sued a lot as well.
Yeah, more than Travis.
We'll see what happens with it. I do not expect Travis to get jail time. I don't think that's happening at all. He did release an apology video on Instagram. It was a little odd, but it was an apology video. In
conclusion, the situation is just bad.
Yeah.
Should have been more security. Should have been more communication. Should have been more communication. That's about it, folks.
Yep. Leave
Right.
your thoughts down below. We do want to know.
Please do. Yeah. All right. Thank you all so much for watching. Prayers to the families involved, and we'll catch y'all next time.
Peace.
Bye-bye.